And I'm Thibodeau. And there's three things that we love doing: eating boudin, eating crawfish, and watching WGS-TV.
Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFXTV. I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux, and this is the return of Double B's Saints Report. Week 4, as the Saints took on the Packers, and in a heartbreaking loss. Lost by only 1 point. Let's get to the stats before anything else, guys and gals, so I can give you guys my overview of it, and then give you guys my opinion on how I thought the game went. For the Saints, Drew Brees, he was 35 of 54, 54 passing attempts total, guys. 446 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Conversely, for the Packers, Aaron Rodgers, 31 of 41, 319 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. For the Saints rushing, Darren Sproles tops the list with 5 carries, 20 yards. Pierre Thomas had 9 carries for 14 yards. Mark Ingram, 5 carries for 11 yards. The receiving leader in this game for the Saints, it was Marcus Colston, 9 receptions, 153 yards with a touchdown. Joe Morgan had a long bomb here, according here, an 80-yard touchdown grab. Jimmy Graham was more involved in this game, 7 receptions for 76 yards. Lance Moore had 7 for 67. Darren Sproles had 5 receptions for 44 yards. Big Jed Collins had 1 for 12 yards. Devery Henderson only had 1 reception for 10 yards. And Mark Ingram had a reception, but it didn't go anywhere. And same for Pierre Thomas. Here's what I've been noticing about the Saints' defense. For some reason, to me, the defense of the Saints just looks lax. Like there's no pursuit to the ball or to the ball carrier, and the tackling has just been god awful. Very, very awful. I really don't understand why the defense is playing the way it's playing. It's kind of frustrating. And another thing that's frustrating is the Saints love to establish a run game. You know, if you want a more balanced attack, you have to establish the run in order to open up the pass. And they, for some reason, cannot establish that ground game. Cannot. The Saints' running attack, they had a very prolific running attack last year when they were the NFC South Division champions. They had a very good running attack. So far, we haven't seen any of that this season. Nothing like that. And here's the reason why. You know, we haven't seen it. It just hasn't been there. You know, we got to give it up to Pierre Thomas and Mark Ingram. You know, they're trying. Chris Ivory is out injury. I would like to know where Cadet is. Cadet was a very good player in preseason. I'm surprised that the Saints have not put him in yet to try to add to the running attack for the Saints. And that, you know, it's a very potent, high-powered offense. It still is. But if you don't open up that run, and you totally rely on Drew Brees, that just gives the defense just time to pin their ears back and keep going after him, knowing that every time it's going to be a pass. For the Saints, 25 total first downs, only 1 by rushing, 23 by passing. Third down efficiency, the Saints were 9 for 17. The Packers were 4 for 8. The total net yards for the Saints, 474 yards to 421 for the Packers. Total net yards rushing, it is just a very dismal, dreary 45 to 102. And the net yards passing, 429. Now, I'm not saying Drew Brees can't do it, but a running attack would really, really help that offense. It would really help the Saints offense with a very prolific running attack. And So far this season, the Saints have been totally one-dimensional. Totally one-dimensional. Now, I'll give it to them on this game here. The Packers defeated them 28-27. And the way the game ended for the Saints is a very unique situation. We're lining up for that 43-yard field goal attempt, and Garrett Hartley makes it, and then we get a holding call on Dave Thomas, number 85, which puts them back 10 yards. So now we get a 53-yard attempt, and then we get an encroachment foul on the Packers, which gets 5 of those yards back, so it's a 48-yard attempt. And keep in mind, Garrett Hartley made the 43-yarder before the penalty happened. He made it. So now we got a 48-yard attempt for Garrett Hartley, and it's a must-win kick and a must-win situation for the Saints. And he pulls it wide to the left. It's just like anything that can go wrong for the Saints this season so far has gone wrong. Anything that can go wrong for them has gone wrong. And, you know, me as a Saints fan, it's got me trying to figure out, you know, okay, what do the Saints need to look at? You know, one thing is they need a better defense. Because that defense, sloppy tackling, there's no pursuit to the ball, there's no pursuit to the ball carrier, and the corners, well, Patrick Robinson in particular, needs to learn how to defend a pass. Because he is just absolutely horrible. Now, we'll give it to him. He did come up with an interception, you know, a big old INT, which has really helped the Saints. But the corners for the Saints, Jabari Greer, Malcolm Jenkins, Patrick Robinson, they've just been terrible. Just been terrible defending the pass. And not to mention the front four, they get gashed left and right on the running attack. Every game, the Saints give up huge amounts of yards when it comes to the running attack. And it's just getting frustrating to the point. I mean, yeah, we've got a different coaching staff, but it's basically the same players out there, and they're just doing horribly. Horribly. I will say this, it was still an entertaining game. I wish the Saints would have come out with the victory, but now we're 0-4. And this makes it trying to get to the playoffs harder and harder and harder. And the Saints have to do something here. Because they're getting to the point where they're going to lose every member of the Who Dat Nation. Well, maybe not that. Maybe not that. But we're probably going to lose a lot of hope and faith that we can make it even to the playoffs. Starting out 0-4. I don't know if there's ever been a team ever that started out 0-4 and made it to the playoffs. But I don't know. We get Joe Vitt back at basically week 8, I believe I've heard the commentator say. And I don't know what Joe Vitt will be able to bring to the table that the current interim general manager is doing right now. And he's not doing, well, I don't know what he can do right now in order to turn things around for the Saints. But there's something's got to be done. Something has to be done for the Saints. I mean, they stepped up a lot from last week's game. Last week's game was terrible. Now, I will admit the Saints started to play like the Saints of last year in this game. It's just like I said, the things that can go wrong has gone wrong for the Saints, and it did so in this game. You know, especially with that heartbreaker with Garrett Hartley and the field goal. You know, he makes the 43-yarder, but then you get a holding call on Dave Thomas, number 85. Sends him back for a 53-yarder. Then they get the encroachment foul on the Packers. It brings it to a 48-yard field goal attempt, and he pulls it wide to the left. I really wish I knew how to better analyze this for you guys. guys and gals. But we need to establish that run. We need to start to establish the run so we can open up the pass and make it a better passing attack for the Saints. And unless the Saints do that, unless they learn to have a better balanced attack when it comes to the run and the pass, this is going to possibly be a Detroit Lions season. And when I say that, I mean maybe an 0-16 season or a 1-15 season. But unless they can turn that around, guys and gals, I really don't see the season getting any better for the Saints. And starting out 0-4, you know, right now we're at the lowest of the low for the Saints right now. And members of the Who Dat Nation, we can only believe in our team right now. But strictly speaking, the numbers and the way they've been playing do not lie. The Saints need, the offense needs that running attack. They need that balanced running attack. You know, they can't totally rely 100% on the arm of Drew Brees. It's just not possible. They've tried to for the past 4 games, and they have lost every single game. You can't do it. You got to have a balanced attack. And that running attack is just not there for the Saints. And the other teams know that. And the other teams know that. So basically the Saints become a one-dimensional team. And we really can't do anything about it unless we get that ground attack back. Get that running attack back for the Saints. If they don't establish that, the Saints will not be able to have a good season. They will not be able to win to me, they will not be able to win a single game unless they can find a way to get a better balanced attack and learn to the front four for the defensive line needs to learn how to stuff the run, you know, and learn how to better tackles. I wish I knew how to word it better, guys, but again, in a heartbreaking loss, the Saints fall to 0-4 as they lose by 1 point to the Green Bay Packers, 28-27. Some of the other scores from this week for week 4 of the NFL: the Baltimore Ravens beat Cleveland 23-16. Atlanta remains perfect as they topple the Panthers by a score of 30-28. New England crushed the Buffalo Bills 52-28. Minnesota defeats Detroit 20-13. Houston's a surprising team this year. Houston defeated Tennessee Titans by a score of 38-14. We got the Chargers over the Kansas City 37-20. San Francisco just crushed the Jets 34-0. Pitched a shutout in that one. The Rams over the Seahawks 19-13. The Cardinals all over Miami, 24-21 is a final score in overtime, by the way. The Broncos crushed the Raiders, 37-6. The Bengals over the Jaguars, 27-10. And the Redskins over Tampa Bay by a score 24-22. The Saints, my final thought on the Saints, again, like I've said already, better balanced attack. Get the running attack back, and the Saints defense, they need to learn how to better pursue the ball carrier, stuff the run, and better tackling. That's what they need. So what I want to know, guys, is what are your thoughts about this game or any game from this week in the NFL? Be sure to put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video, and please don't forget to subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network and youtube.com/ZFXFame. So with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching.